Town. The Heroine Awards, hosted by Bishop Dr. Stanley Michuki, Bishop Dr. Zablon Malema, and Bishop Dr. Eli Rop, is to honor those who have done exemplary well in the public service and in church, yet their achievements have gone unrecognized for years. The 3-day ceremony held in Eldoret at the Central Primary School grounds celebrated, recognized and awarded Dr. Isaac Mwaura as a dedicated and a transformative champion who has touched many lives through his dedication and sacrifice in and out of public service. Dr. Isaac is the youngest hero nominated by the Heroes and Heroines Foundation, a Christian-based foundation that has taken the initiative to recognize and award long-serving champions who have given back to society in various ways. The ceremony, presided over by Pastor Dr. Dorcas Rigathi, recognized Dr. Isaac Mwaura for his outstanding fight for human rights in Kenya, especially the marginalized groups like those living with disability.
I've been able to, for example, increase the age of persons with disabilities. Now they retire at 65 years old. I've ensured, through the grace of God, that they are represented in all the CDFs and even the national CDF. The currency you have in your pocket is more friendly to those who are visually impaired because of my work. NYS now and paramilitary training accepts students with youth with disabilities because of my work. If you see them graduating, those are the people. I've helped so many of them to be employed in many companies. So many of them are even appointed in government.
Many of us do not know that God is a father. And if God is a father, definitely he will mitigate and make sure that fathers are honored. And that is why from the biblical times, I have never heard God saying that he has come in the name of the sons. He always came to the sons in the name of the fathers. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Anytime he wanted to do anything to any son, he referred to the fathers. And that's why today, as I stand here, I am so proud of what is happening today. As fathers are honored by other fathers, and fathers are willing to come up with the succession management and to bring us together to show us the way it should be done.
Dr. Mwaura is a former senator and a former cabinet administrative secretary. He has served as a deputy minister in the office of the prime cabinet secretary and became the third person to be nominated under the Constitution of Kenya 2010 to represent persons living with disability. He has served as a member of parliament in the National Assembly, where he strongly represented the marginalized groups. He became the first member of the National Assembly and the first senator living with albinism, serving as a senior advisor to former Prime Minister Raila Odinga between the year 2010 and 2012. He used the opportunity to amplify the rights of the special interest groups. He is a writer, a debater, a social change maker, and an activist, and was nominated as the Chief of the Order of the Burning Spear (CBS) by former President Uhuru Kenyatta for his outstanding contributions in the society and towards persons living with disability. He fought against child labor and was recognized as a child rights champion in the year 2020. He advanced the rights of people living with albinism and fought against skin cancer in people living with albinism.
This is my 20th year in public service, and I was privileged to start at the age of 22 when I was made to be a pioneer board member of the National Council for Persons with Disabilities while still a student under the Kibaki administration. Born 1982, when my father saw me, he said, "In our place, they don't get children who look like a pig." So I faced rejection at birth, yet I had a dream. I ended up becoming the first MP and senator with albinism in this country.
The now government spokesperson has and continues to fight for social inclusion, equity, empowerment, and socio-economic opportunities for people living with albinism in Kenya. He is the coordinator and the chairman of Albinism Society of Kenya that rescues people living with albinism from backward myths and misconceptions like ritual killings. He promotes eye care, sunscreen provision, supports education, cancer treatment, counseling, and promotes albinism awareness in Kenya. His current position as the government spokesperson is a continuous motivation and a sign of hope and inclusion, not only for people living with albinism, but to all living with disability.
Today we are here celebrating, and one may ask, why is Isaac Mwaura in this list? I am proud to say God has used me so much to change the cause of people with albinism. Today they have dignity. I became their voice. I became their voice from stigma and discrimination. They were being killed. I have rescued children from being killed. Some of them I've educated now, they're even in secondary school. That time we couldn't even, when I joined my first political party, watu walikuwa wanasalimia mkono hivi alafu wanapanguza, because they used to think albinism is contagious. But the Lord has taken me through from stigma and discrimination, from being the voice and face of the voiceless, to today being the voice and face of the whole of government. Never did I ever imagine that one day I would become the government spokesman. Never. How? That you are now the face of government. So I'm really humbled.
Dr. Isaac was awarded alongside other 24 nominees, among them Bishop Dr. Patrick Mungai, the founder of Gospel Evangelistic Church of Kenya, Her Excellency Dr. Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, who is the first to be ordained to serve as a pastor in the presidency since Kenya's independence, Bishop Dr. Michael Michuki, Reverend Dr. Wilson Mamboleo, Reverend Dr. Mary Njaramba, Archbishop Dr. Arthur Kitonga, Honorable Dr. Jackson Kipkemoi, Bishop Dr. Henry Mulandi, Archbishop Dr. Gerishon Kibarabara, Dr. Washington Ogonyongede, Dr. Armstrong Chege, Honorable Dr. Silas Yego, Bishop Dr. William Tumising, Bishop Dr. Eli Rop, Professor Dr. Charles Mutua, Reverend Dr. Judy Mbugwa, Professor Nathan Kihara, Bishop Dr. Isaac Wekesa, Apostle John Kimani William, Bishop Dr. Zablon Malema, Honorable Dr. John Mututho, Honorable Dr. Joseph Kilioba, and Bishop Dr. Margaret Wangari.